welcome to Webcertain TV. I'm joined today by Kerstin Pape, who is the Head of Online Marketing at German retailer Otto. Hi Kerstin, thank you for being here.
Hi.
So we're going to talk a little bit about content today, because I know that content is a big focus for you at Otto. You have a variety of blogs specifically that focus on different elements of the content that you, the products that you sell. So why is this strategy in place? Why do you have multiple blogs?
Well, we have a big shop, so a certain kind of assortment, and for us it made sense to establish different blogs and not one blog for all type of content pieces. So this is a reason, because we have fashion, we have living, we have different target groups from young to older people. So we have 4 blogs installed, one in 2008 and a couple of other ones we launched like 1 or 2 years ago. And well, the strategy behind the blogs is that we basically do content and content marketing with the blogs, starting with working together with different bloggers, about 40-50 bloggers who regularly produce content for the blogs, and also link and publish content on their blogs. Well, the long-term target is to have a better connection between the blogs and the shop, because at the moment it's kind of separated. Because it's basically because our shop is more on the focus is more on transactional product search and navigation. But in the future, we are working on that to bring these two words more together.
I think that's really interesting to talk about and important, because we hear a lot now about the fact that trying to just focus on a transactional side of things for an e-commerce business is probably a mistake, because buyers don't always want to just buy straight away. They want to find out, and I guess having a blog is a great way to do this. So how do you find the engagement of the blog? Does it attract the right audience, and how do they interact with the content on there?
Well, we have like different content pieces. So we have like more informational content, and content with us has a certain focus on certain questions to do with fashion, for example, evergreen content we call it. And then we have like inspirational content, which has a not such a long lifetime, especially in fashion. And depends a lot on the type of content we have, actually. But well, we learned that actually the interaction in terms of really engagement and shares within with the social community, it's not so high on the blog. It's more consumption, but actually we track how the content works in terms of clicks and in terms of visibility.
Yeah.
And we try to get the people who are on the blog to like our Facebook page or to subscribe for a newsletter, so they have a different touch point. We can bring the users back to the blog. That's the idea behind it. But the engagement, I think it's not so high as, for example, in comparison to social networks.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a sign of just the way things have changed probably over the past few years. At one point, blogs, that was the social interaction people had with their customers, and now
it's moving from blogs to social networks, basically. So this is what we are thinking about, how we can distribute the content more within the social media world.
Yeah.
Not just on the blog, so the consumption will not be only on the blog, it will be outside of the blog as well. So.
And which social channels do you find most useful or most relevant for an e-commerce business?
Well, I think Facebook is the number one, and the number 2 is Instagram. So these are the both channels we are focusing on at the moment. Also Pinterest. I think there are still some algorithm problems with Pinterest for us we have to solve. So that the content we are publishing there gets a higher rank or more visibility. But we're working on that. So I believe in Pinterest, also in terms of performance. I guess in the future it will be more a performance channel than our image channel. Well, I think Instagram and Facebook are the most exciting ones. So in Twitter Germany, in Germany, it has a harder time, I guess, than in other countries. And as we focus more on women in our target group, Twitter doesn't fit so good in our strategy. So
yeah, and with products like fashion or with home products and things, Instagram, Pinterest, where people can look at images and talk about them,
it's more visual. So
yeah, absolutely
works better.
So do you think blogs have kind of getting to the end of their life as importance, do you think? Or do you think it's just that they need to be integrated more with other channels?
End of product life cycle, no. I think it's more like, well, there are two challenges actually. I think generating traffic for a blog, it's getting harder and harder. Especially in certain types of segments. So fashion is really high competitive. We recognize in Germany there is still not so much competition, for example, in living. So it's easier there, but you really, we need really good content, a unique blog, but you need to have a good strategy how to generate the traffic. And well, the easiest thing is to do it by SEO traffic and get a better integration in your own activities and your own media. But internally, if you have a lot of interest within one company, it's not so easy to get it all connected with all channels as easily as you want to do it. And I think the second trend is that you need to focus more on social, as I said, to distribute your content more on social media. And I think there will be a lot of blogs dying in the future, especially the smaller ones. It will be hard for them. So I think there will be a concentration in the blog blog scene. So a few big ones, which gonna survive, but also maybe some mid-sized blogs and at the end all have to earn money at some kind, and money you can only earn if you have a certain traffic. So I think it depends. Will be a big movement in the next years, I think, in the segment.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what about email as a channel for you in terms of the two sides of it, I guess, in terms of sharing content, but also in terms of driving actual transaction as traffic as well?
Well, as our company is using it at the moment, it's more like a sales channel. I think it has potential for being a content marketing channel as well, and to combine content more with products and campaigns. I think the importance will not grow so much, but I think it's still one of the most powerful channels we have. Actually, because it's for free. That's the main reason. You own the subscribers. The problem you have with Facebook and with social media is you don't own anything. You don't own the content you publish there. You don't own the subscribers. So I think newsletter still has a really important channel within the marketing mix. But I think because users subscribe more newsletters or emails, I think you have to focus really on all the targeting opportunities you can get out or you can use, because otherwise it's like spam. So I think it's something the companies who use newsletters can really influence if how is the acceptance of newsletters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. It was really interesting. Thank you.
Okay.